Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. Welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, hi, I'm Kira, and that is my beautiful oldest child, Kai. He's always in my videos nowadays. Anyways, we are going to be doing a makeup and mystery. I am excited because I want to look at this from a different standpoint. And yes, if you see makeup, I already had done my makeup today. So this is my second video. Well, not my second video. I've done a lot of filming today. So I got a lot done. It's my birthday. But anyways, the case we're going to be doing today is the Slenderman Case. So in case you don't know, Slenderman is actually a fictional character that was created on the Creepypasta wiki, and they are two girls named Anissa and Morgan who found Slenderman on the Creepypasta and, for lack of a better term, became obsessed with him. They were so obsessed with Slenderman, in fact, that they decided that they wanted to become proxies or apprentices to him. And to do that, the only way to do that, in their eyes, was to sacrifice to spill innocent blood. And to do that, they decided that they were going to kill their other best friend, the third girl of their group, whose name was Peyton, and she was nicknamed Bella. So, this is like a really pretty big case. So, I'm sure most people know about it already and they know what happened. Anyways, the girls were charged with the attempted murder of their friend Peyton, because Peyton actually was stabbed like 19 times, and the girls decided to walk to Slenderman's mansion, and after they had stabbed Bella, and it was like a 4 or 5 hour drive to the forest that his mansion is supposedly located in. So they were not getting there by foot. But they were not getting there by foot. So that is actually where the cops picked them up, was on the side of a road, because they were walking to this forest. So, like I said, Peyton survives, and the girls are arrested, and the girls are interrogated. So there is a really good documentary on the Slenderman stabbing on HBO Max. I actually think you can get it on YouTube for free, which is great for people who are interested in this case, because I actually think this is an interesting case. I think it's important to note that the parents of these girls, you know, in the interviews, they didn't seem like they did anything wrong with their children. Like, I don't think that this happening was any of their faults, honestly. I just think that this was honestly, like, just really bad everything. Bad timing, bad mental health, and just honestly a bad person. So, if you watch the documentary, then basically Anissa was the one who introduces Slenderman to Morgan. I think that the important thing to note is that Morgan is schizophrenic. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So I think that that is something. Basically, schizophrenia, like, she sees things. So when she was explaining it to the police, she actually believed she saw Slenderman. And to be completely honest, in her brain, he was real. And like I said, okay, so Anissa is the one who introduces Morgan to Slenderman. And Anissa even said that she doesn't think that this would have happened if she had not introduced Slenderman to Morgan. So Morgan sees Slenderman and she thinks, in her words from the interrogation, she says, I saw Slenderman when I was 3. And also from the interrogation, Morgan is said to have had hallucinations and stuff like that since the age of 3. So if she was really experiencing hallucinations and stuff, I can actually see her believing Slenderman was real. But Anissa did not have anything wrong with her. And I'm kind of going to go a little hard, I think, on Anissa, because I actually think that a lot of this is her fault and a lot of it is her manipulation. And that is just my personal, not experience, because I don't have open experience in this field, but this is just my experience of, like, going to psychoanalysis classes when I was in college. So, The girls were convicted of this attempted murder. They had filed not guilty by reason of mental disease, and I think it is important to note that the girls both are in a mental hospital. Anissa got 25 years in a mental hospital, and they were both charged when they were 12. So they're going to be in there for a while. And Morgan got 40 years in a mental institution. Remember, Morgan is the one that has schizophrenia. Morgan's father also is schizophrenic. And if you watch the documentary I'm talking about, he actually talks a little bit about like having schizophrenia and his experiences with it. And I think that it adds a lot of insight to schizophrenia as a whole. And if you're curious about mental disease, like the schizophrenia disease, I really suggest checking out this documentary. So anyways, the girls, if you watch it, their interrogations, they're explaining it, and Anissa had both of them agree. So, sorry, my parents are bringing me lunch, so that's what that was just about. So I lost my spot. They said that Morgan was the one to stab Peyton, and all three of the girls agree on that, and that is why I think Morgan probably got the bigger sentence, is because she was the one to stab Peyton, not Anissa. But this is where I have issues with the judicial system, is because Anissa didn't technically stab her, but Anissa was definitely a manipulator in this whole situation, and I believe that because both Morgan and Anissa said that Anissa said, Morgan, go ballistic. Because Morgan didn't want to stab her friend Peyton. But she did for Anissa. And Anissa turned around, and she said she stepped about 5 feet away and said, now, go ballistic. And that is when Morgan jumped on Peyton and started stabbing her. So, I think that Anissa was the instigator of this whole situation, you know. I don't think that she could have imagined or predicted that Morgan had schizophrenia, or that Morgan would have went with the plan. But Morgan, in her interrogation, and I'm more inclined to believe Morgan because of the fact that she has a mental illness. Morgan said that Anissa said that if she didn't kill Peyton, that Slenderman would kill her whole family in 3 seconds. But Anissa said that it was Morgan's idea to become a proxy of Slenderman, and it was Morgan's idea to kill Peyton or Bella. So, like I said, I think Anissa was the instigator of the whole situation, and I think that she really preyed on a mental illness that nobody really even knew that Morgan had. But that is just my personal theory. I do think that this whole thing was kind of like Anissa's fault, basically. So Peyton and Morgan, the victim and the one who stabbed her, had actually been friends since like the 4th grade. And Anissa was the new girl in. So Anissa had met Morgan because they lived in the same neighborhood and they rode the same bus together. And that is how they got to meet. And there's even stories of Anissa talking about how she met Peyton was through Morgan at school. And my personal theory is I think Anissa was jealous of Peyton. And of course, I do think that they did weave a little bit of the Slenderman thing. I do think that the Creepypasta website should kind of have like a little thing to make sure people know before they go in to it, just in case, like a big thing to know that this is just like all fake and it's made up stuff that's meant to scare you. And if you check out Anissa's interrogation, then you would see Anissa's actually talking about it, and Anissa says that creepypasta is something that is stories that is meant to scare you. that's another reason why I don't believe Anissa thought Slenderman was gonna kill her whole family. I don't believe it. Is because Anissa went into this knowing that the creepypasta was stories that were purposefully meant to scare you. That the creepypasta is literally just fictional like horror story characters that people like become attached to, and they build off of it. Like, it's a story that kind of keeps getting built off of and built off of and built off of. Like, people keep adding new stuff to the character, and it's like a horror community, basically. I was kind of into like stuff like that for a little bit, but I'm not really anymore because I have children and I don't feel like scaring them until they're 20 years old. And I used to like scare super duper easily. I mean, I fell in love with like the show Teen Wolf, which I still watch Teen Wolf. I love it. It's amazing. It's on Hulu. You know, things like that, like canamas and stuff like that. Like, I really, really like stuff like that. But I'm not gonna go killing somebody. So I think that the case is kind of like right from wrong, I guess. Like, do the girls... I think, like I said, Anissa didn't like Peyton and kind of wanted her out of the group, and knew that Morgan really believed the story of Slenderman. And I think that Anissa knew that Morgan really believed this story of Slenderman and kind of used it to her advantage. I'm gonna clean that up. I just kind of wanted a little bit of a clean up guide. Take This is a different look for me, but I am using the Weirdo palette, which is one of my favorite palettes because of how dark and grungy you can go. The world is really at your oyster with this. I mean, so gorgeous. And here's something I was debating doing in this episode, or this video. I never took this off, and I just realized that. I never took that off. But like I said, I definitely think that Morgan needs mental help. Because she is schizophrenic. We know she has that diagnosis. Anissa doesn't, and they did test her, and Anissa didn't show anything from it. Which is why I just think that she is a sociopathic manipulator. And I think that she's a sociopath because, and a manipulator that instigated this whole thing. Because in the documentary, if you check out the documentary, they go over like her YouTube videos that she watched and like the comments she left, and a lot of the videos that she watched was like, how to know you're a sociopath, and she's commenting and saying like, LOL, I got it all right, come take me away. Like, this is not a normal girl. And I think she's really disturbed. So ultimately that opens up the conversation of when is being a good parent? Like, where do we draw the line? Because her parents, both Anissa and Morgan's parents, both admit that they knew that the girls had an obsession with Slenderman, but they didn't think anything of it. And I believe it was Morgan's mother, but Morgan's mother had said that when she was Morgan's age, which all three of these girls are 12 at the time of this story. They're not anymore, but her mom had said that when she was her age, she was riding a bike from the library and bringing home like Stephen King's It book. So I mean, like, it's like natural curiosity for kids this age to get into things like that, to believe in the supernatural. But if you keep watching the documentary that I'm talking about, which you can just literally type in Slenderman stabbing case documentary in YouTube, and I think it'll pop up. So, in the documentary, Morgan's parents knew that when she said that they knew when she was younger that she was a little different because she didn't seem to have empathy. And they recited a time about when they watched Bambi with her and they were worried about her watching Bambi because of the mother dying and stuff like that. And she didn't really show empathy for the Bambi's mother dying. She's just saying, Bambi, save yourself. Which I don't think is normal for children. I mean, I'm not a judge of children per se. Like, I only have two, and they're both under the age of 2 at the time that I'm filming this, so I'm not, like, gonna say I'm the best judge of character when it comes to children, but if you think something's a little off with your child, maybe the best route is to look into options of getting them help so that they don't become murderers. I don't know. Anything parenting-wise, I usually talk to my parents about because my parents help me with my children, and my parents have raised 4 children, so they know what they're talking about. Love this makeup look. But in doing this video, I really wanted to discuss the fact that I do think that Anissa should have been held more accountable, because Anissa is the mentally sane one. We do know that she is mentally sane. She, in my opinion, was the manipulator and the instigator in this situation. And I think that she was jealous of Peyton, and she wanted Morgan all to herself. It's kind of like similar to the case that we did a few episodes ago where we were talking about the case of Conrad Roy and Michelle Carter, where people were saying that Michelle convinced Conrad, her boyfriend, to kill himself because she wanted to be known as the grieving girlfriend, the widowed girlfriend, and she did it to be popular. Well, I kind of think another part of that was like that, was that Anissa wanted Morgan all to herself, but also that Anissa had friends, apparently from another school, that were concerned about her. And there was even a friend that testified in her trial. And it's in the documentary that I'm talking about. This specific thing that I'm quoting is that this girl said that she called Anissa and asked Anissa how she was doing because she was worried about Anissa at the new school. And Anissa would say that she had so many friends and like a bunch of boys liked her and stuff like that, like little kid stuff. And like I said, it's eerily similar to the Michelle Carter case with Conrad Roy in the fact that she portrayed she was popular, but in reality she really wasn't. She wanted to be. And another thing, the girls felt that if they did this sacrifice of Peyton, their friend Peyton, not only would they be able to live with Slenderman, but they were also saying that it was to prove that Slenderman was real. Which, there was like a contest a few years ago for Creepypasta to Photoshop like the best pictures, and that's where like realistic pictures of Slenderman came to be. I mean, I'm not into Photoshop. I edit my photos, like the filters. But these people that did this contest were, like, a lot of these pictures, you should check them out. They're really talented. They really are. So, in conclusion, like I said, I think that Anissa should have gotten as much as Morgan did, because I think that Anissa was the instigator behind this whole mess. By the way, really good setting spray, and switching it up for this Milani one. Like I said, though, I think that Anissa should have gotten maybe a little bit more time, because I do think that she was the instigator. And let's just be completely honest, when we have masterminds behind attempted murders, typically they end up getting just as much time, because, like we said with the Michelle Carter case, your words can hurt people, your words can do a lot of damage to people. But that is it for today's video. That's all the time I have for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell, all that social media great stuff. I'm going to end this video here. and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.